Hello friends, welcome back to my valley. In today's speed build, we're going to be embracing the gorgeous Tudor style look of the new mansion house skin to create a sprawling English style estate and rose garden. With the stunning new greenhouse pieces from the Star Path and the elegant pillars from the new Beauty and the Beast bundle, we are going to try to capture some Bridgerton vibes and recreate some of the magic of Britain's Regency era. Whether you're here for a cozy background video while you're working on your own valley, or whether you're watching this video for inspo, please consider liking and subscribing for more speed builds and tours, tips and tricks, and some touch of magic tutorials. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. As always, we will begin with pathing. The Main Street path is a perfect complement to the brick on the house, so we'll primarily be using that. Fair warning, I did do some curved pathing in this build, so I tried to edit the video for as smooth of a viewing experience as possible, but I did struggle a bit getting some of the corners correct. Once the main pathing is down, we're going to use a couple of different types of paths to create somewhat of an intricate design. We'll be using the river kit to create a pond at the center of the drive here, so elaborate pathing is really just going to elevate the look of the pond. So of course, as soon as I got it looking the way I wanted, I decided that I wanted to widen the drive and make the pond a little bit wider. So bear with me as I just extend the pathing here a bit. Now we can go in with the river kit pieces. I'm mostly going to be using the two pieces with the items floating in them, the log and the lily pads, as they just look better in photos without the grid showing. But if you are recreating this in your own valley, you can feel free to use the large pieces with the grid if you want that nice clean look. Honestly, I would have preferred the clean look myself. I'm just going to take a minute to say that I would love it if they would add the feature where we had the ability to toggle off the grid in furniture mode. It would just make our photos in furniture mode with the river kit so much more beautiful. I'm making sure to rotate the pieces so that the pond doesn't end up looking too uniform. I am going to use one large piece with the grid since I want to put the swans in here just to add a little bit and make it look a little bit more regal. Now that we've got the water pieces down, we can extend the path to finish up the drive. Okay, now it's time for the garden. I'm going to use this enchanted cage lantern to mark the side entrance to the garden. While normally I'd use the hedges to create a box hedge look, they're just too high for this build, so I'm going to use these Forest of Valor bushes to create the look instead. Honestly, I would love to have something a little bit lower than even these, but they'll have to do. We'll line the path with them, and then we'll do the same on the opposite side of the build. I'll use these new pillars from the Beauty and the Beast bundle to line the pond. They'll add some grandeur with their gold accents and the gorgeous red climbing roses. I love this item so much. It's so beautiful. I'm also going to add cypress trees in between the pillars. They have a nice manicured topiary look to them, and they really just frame out the entrance to the house along with these pillars perfectly. Now, because I don't want bits of grass clipping through in between the pathing, I'm going to be adding these plumeria petals, and they also add just a little touch of elegance. Okay, so now we can work on the hedgerows. I'm going to create 4 corners with a circular center using these bushes. Now, I just want to say as I'm going through this, it's important to rotate the bushes so that once again, it doesn't look too uniform. So I'll be rotating these as I go. Now that we have the four corners finished up, we can add in the pathing. I'm going with gravel for this, as it just seems like the right kind of pathing for a garden. And then right here in the center, we're going to add in Jasmine's Courtyard fountain. I don't use this fountain much, to be honest. It always just seems like it's just too huge and grand for any of my builds. But for this build, it just feels like the perfect centerpiece to create that look of an opulent English garden that we're going for. And the color also matches really well with the warm tones of the house, so it's a perfect fit. To add some height and layering to this garden area so that it doesn't look so flat, I'm going to be adding in more of these pillars and cypress trees. They'll round out the courtyard and just make it look a little more grand. I'm also adding in these enchanted castle oil lamps from the Beauty and the Beast collection, just for garden lighting. Finally, I'm going to add these marble pieces to each hedgerow, and we'll add in the roses around it later. Back behind the garden, I want to create an elegant greenhouse build. So first, we're going to put the pathing that leads to the greenhouse. Again, I'll be using the Main Street path and the golden opal path in a unique pattern just to create some visual interest. I love playing with pathing. I'm also going to lay out the greenhouse in a unique way with two frames in the back at an angle to kind of create little wings, just to create a more interesting layout for the greenhouse. These plaza hedges are items that I swear I always tend to overlook. They have a really big footprint, so that might be part of it, but we also got the other hedge items in the game, so that's part of it too. But I really think that they're going to look fantastic here to create a nice barrier between the path and the greenhouse. Okay, time to be completely honest. I struggled with this fencing so much. I could not lay it out in a way that I was happy with. So rather than keep 10 minutes of footage where you watch me very frustratingly try to find a good layout, I edited out all the struggle and you just get to see the end result that I finally landed on. I'm very happy with it. Here's a nice aerial view of the fencing behind the hedges. I'm going to play with the pathing a bit and make a few adjustments, and Since I often don't build in a very systematic way, you're gonna have to unfortunately watch me bounce around from adding in the greenhouse walls, widening the path, and fixing the fencing. I swear, I feel like I'm a little more systematic than this, but in all honesty, this build really just gave me a lot more trouble to design and lay out than my builds usually do. I don't know if it's because my design style is usually less structured, I tend to go more natural, or I don't know what it is. We're really going to embrace the rose garden look, so in go more of these pillars, and then we're going to use these gorgeous red rose spade trees that came to us in the Alice in Wonderland update. I love these trees. I haven't been able to use them yet, but I'm so glad we can do it here. Just like we did with the pillars to frame out the house entrance, we're going to space these out so that we can put items in between. And I think for the items in between, I'm going with these lion statues. They add just the perfect statue garden touch. Okay, we're going to add some more pathing, and then this area needs a nice centerpiece. So we'll use the fountain from the Hercules collection, and we'll put the circular flagstone pieces beneath them. Truly, you can never have too many fountains, especially in a garden, so I'm going to add a couple more on either side of the greenhouse entrance too. They'll just peek up over the hedges. Okay, heads up. The color's about to change, but when I got out of furniture mode to save, I changed the time of day for better lighting. Now to enclose the rest of the greenhouse, I want to add some trees and pillars back here, so we're going to leave this open. But since these walls clip so very nicely into one another, even at an angle, we're going to create something of a little atrium back here. I'm using the elegant stone fence to create little pop-out planters, starting with this one at the back. Again, this fence is another item with an amazing footprint that allows these items to clip into each other so nicely. We'll add these red rose spade trees for a pop of color, and then another fountain because, well, why not? Since the greenhouse walls are such a rich dark color, I want the pathing to be a nice contrast. So in here, we're going to switch to the gold and opal pathing instead of the Main Street path. Inside the greenhouse wings, I'm going to add another pop-out planter on each side. I'm adding these tables in so that I can create a bit of a layered look with the flowers and plants and the tree behind it. not going to lie, the pathing was giving me trouble in here too. I don't know about you, but I've found that the angled pathing can be so incredibly difficult and so time consuming to make work. So I decided at one point to just start over and fiddle around with it until it came out into a shape that I could work with. Thankfully, we got there in the end. To fill in these planter boxes, I'm using these gorgeous lily pad bushes. I love this foliage item. It's so pretty and so lush, and it takes up a lot of visual space without having a huge footprint. I'm putting several of these in and rotating them so that they will pop through the fencing in a nice natural way without looking like they're clipping through the stone. Now I'll mirror the design on the other side, well, except that I ran out of white coffee tables, so I had to go to Scrooge's to buy more. So I'll add those in later. Since this is a greenhouse, we need to add a little bit more greenery. These potted elegant plants are perfect to frame both sides of the pop-out. And then we're going to go in and strategically hide some Vitalis lanterns in these planters just to add that pretty lighting from this item that you get on floating islands. It's time to fill in the front walkway here. We're going to add empty planter boxes on either side. You'll see why in a moment. And then put these pillars in the background. The overall theme of this garden and greenhouse is roses, obviously. So we're really making liberal use of these pillars just to add that vivid red pop of color. And finally, we'll add some of these royal potted plants here in the front. For the finishing touches on the greenhouse interior, I'll be adding these large vases on either side of the pop-outs, and then the magnolia benches from the Mulan collection for a pretty little sitting area in each wing of the greenhouse. I'm also going to add some of these fountain tiles underneath because who doesn't love a good fountain to make a build even more regal? Now for the autumn elements, I'm using these absolutely stunning Japanese maples. These are one of my favorite trees in the game to frame out the greenhouse because every English garden needs stately trees. We're going to also add in these split golden maples from Storybook Vale. Since these trees are lower to the ground, they're really going to do a great job of filling in any dead space behind the hedges so that the autumn foliage really looks nice and filled in. Again, we'll do some adjusting to prevent any gaps so that this looks nice and filled in with fall foliage. All right, moving on to the front of the house, I want to create a nice layered look with the hedges first and then the fencing in front of it. Now, obviously this brick fence is a given. The color matches so well with the brick on the house and the main street path, but to add a little bit more elegance, I'm only going to use these brick pieces as fence posts, and then I'll put the wrought iron fence in between them. I did this in my Tiana's Palace build and I just fell in love with the way it looks. These two fences just go so great together. On the sides here, I'm angling these fence posts so that I can create kind of a nice little way to distinguish the path of the main drive from the walkway back to the greenhouse. For lighting at the front, I'm using these lamps from the Royal Winter Star Path. They look so fantastic with the facade of this house. And since you can never have too many statues when you're designing a stately English manor, we're going to add 2 more lion statues here at the front, just to frame out the front steps. Again, we're going to go in with some more autumn foliage here at the front of the house. I'm adding these bind forked trees because they're tall enough and full enough to really create a lush autumn look, but they're not so huge that they cover the bulk of the house. This house is just so gorgeous, I really want to show it off. I don't want to cover it with trees. Now that we have the fencing down, we can connect the path to the greenhouse. I'm going to line this with a few more trees just to fill in the walkway here, and then we can go in and add plumeria petals lining the path. It's a nice contrast to the red rose trees. So I went to Scrooge's shop to buy more coffee tables so that we can just finish up these little pop-outs. I'm using the Beast Enchanted Rose on the small side tables, and then we're going to put the white roses from the Floating Festival on the coffee tables. These roses are the best since they act like a furniture item and not like a flower, and as a bonus, they have a tiny footprint. Now, since these roses don't behave like normal flowers and we can put them on pathing, we're going to put these in the empty flower beds here at the front as well. Now, rather than make this video like an hour and a half, I decided that I was going to cut out the footage of me building out the right-hand side. The right-hand side is an exact mirror of the left-hand side, so it really just kind of seemed unnecessary for me to put that footage in. If you're following along and designing this in your own valley, feel free to go back and replay the design on the left-hand side if you need help to do the right. The only change I made on this side was to make the greenhouse a spot for a romantic dinner, so I'm using the date night exterior here from the Beauty and the Beast collection. Alright, with the entire build laid out, it is time for the final touches. We'll add these carriages along the drive. just add a sense of realism and movement to the build. Then I'm going to go in and add some more plumeria petals just to make the lines between the pathing a little less awkward. And finally, the foliage inside the hedges. I'm using these plaza trees to fill in a bit of space and create that topiary look. And then I'm going to use the white roses that we get from Storybook Vale to fill in the rest. The idea for this came straight out of Bridgerton Season 1. At the Hastings Ball, they had a very similar layout with hedged-in roses surrounding the dance floor, and honestly, I've been dying to recreate that in my valley ever since I saw that. Part of me wanted to create a black and white checkered Touch of Magic rug for this area and just turn this into a dance floor instead of a garden, but I think instead I'm going to save that for my Winter's Ball design. So after doing the entire right side, I started to worry that there was just too much white. So I ran back to my storage to grab some red roses, and we're just going to add these to the mix. Unfortunately, these have a much larger footprint than the white roses, but we're just going to make the best of it and fill in around them. I really just love the pretty little pops of red mixed in. It just adds some variety in color. All right, as usual, I will take you on a tour of the entire build during the golden hour. I love this time of day anyway, but it looks especially perfect for this build as it really makes the autumn colors just pop. If you've stuck around, this is my chance now to thank all of my subscribers. Your views and likes and comments mean so much, and each interaction helps my small channel grow. A special thanks to the channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Your contributions have done so much to help me keep the cozy content coming. If you've enjoyed this video and you haven't subscribed yet, please consider clicking that subscribe button. Thanks, friends, and I'll see you next in Wish Blossom Ranch.